Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Combat Conversations, and I'm your boy G, and I'm rocking with my partner in crime every time, DB. What's going on with it, baby?
Nah, shit, AG, what you up to?
Well, I'm just reeling over another great weekend. Any way you look at it, how you slice the pie, combat sports. I'm telling you, golf season heats up when it ain't football season. I gets down on Sundays. Scotty Scheffler, man, he continues to do his thing. I like me some Scotty Scheffler. I do. Kentucky Derby preps was on the line. I mean, yet again, another great weekend for overall sports enthusiasts. But we like to get into the nitty gritty with the combat sports. Either way. And that's where I'm at with it. I just enjoy a great weekend of sports. Without football season, sometimes people make it feel like the weekend kind of that golf season starts heating up. Scotty Scheffler taking the Arnold Palmer. Next week's the Players. I can't wait for that.
Well, what? You ain't feeling the NBA?
Nah. The NBA done kind of lost my interest a little bit. I ain't in the NBA like I was years ago. I mean, I still know who's who, follow it. I catch highlights and clips, but the actual sitting down, enjoying a full-fledged tip-off to buzzer NBA basketball game, I don't indulge in that much anymore. Late playoffs, conference finals, yeah, I catch a couple games, but the season, the grind of what it is to be a fan of a sport, nah. That kind of, I guess too much has taken over my plate now, and I'm enjoying too many other things, and you got to find that balance, and the NBA has taken a major backseat. They just don't deliver that entertainment like they used to.
I feel it. I do. I'm the same way. I mean, I was never really that big into the NBA, but, like you said, I'll catch the clips, highlights. Once the playoffs start kicking up, that's when I might watch the games every now and then, but, I mean, bro, combat sports.
I mean, you need to leave that alone anyway, because I'm trying to get you on this Kentucky Derby preps. You know what I'm saying? This is running wild right now. We still got like 8 weeks left. Derby's coming. The greatest 2 minutes in sports. The greatest 2 minutes in sports.
Without question.
Forget a 2-minute drive with Tom Brady down to the Super Bowl. I don't care if he's playing the Falcons. It's the greatest 2 minutes in sports. And last night we had a great sets of 25 minutes. We had great sets of 36 minutes. We had some great knockouts. Anybody checked on my man Francis? Or is he still napping? I mean,
he's still napping.
We could kick off with that because that was Friday, So Anthony Joshua and Francis ends in a fashion I'm sure you all have heard by now. The hit heard around the world over the weekend. Anthony Joshua sleeps my man Francis Ngannou in no other way. Yeah, man. What'd you think about that?
I mean, that's to be expected. That's how it should have went with Tyson Fury, but we all know he be on this bullshit at times. I'm not making any excuses for him, but I know he didn't take Francis lightly, and I knew AJ wasn't going to make that same mistake. And I mean, AJ, he's obviously a lifelong boxer, been doing it for a while, and Francis, he's been doing it for 4 months. So, I mean, that's what
longer than that. I mean, I get what you're saying. Yeah. The fight.
Officially, he's been boxing for between the time he's fought Tyson Fury to the time he fought AJ. That's 4 months. I know he's been training and shit like that, but like
official fight resume. Yeah.
Right. So that was to be expected. I had AJ. I picked AJ prior to the fight starting. I'm not going to say that I bought too much into what he did against Tyson Fury because, like I just alluded to a couple seconds ago, Tyson didn't take him seriously. And, again, not trying to make excuses for Tyson, but I just knew that AJ wasn't going to fuck around with that. He wasn't going to play with his food. He was going to get in, get out, and just move on to the next fight.
No, it helped that Tyson Fury had that first fight for AJ because just what you said, it's kind of like, the the overtime rules, how you don't really necessarily want the ball first, you want defense, because not that what I love about it is that, you know, like NCAA overtime rules and stuff, let's just stick with that for the moment. Like, doesn't matter if you go on offense first or defense, it's fair either way. But the reason why people lean towards defense, I believe, is because you know what you up against, whereas you know what the other team has already done. So your line has been drawn. You either got to get this or you're going to fail. Whereas if you go first, you just hoping you get it so you can make the stand. So in this case, Tyson Fury fought him first, like you said, played with his food, maybe didn't go up in there 110% as he treated it like the fight it was. Like,
well, he thought
the MMA fight, yeah, he thought he could get away with being out of shape and still whooping.
Right.
But in this case, he put up a big fight. So now that AJ's like, you know what? Nah, I have to upstand him, and I'm not going in there. I'm getting him out ASAP. You know, even if I'm probably sure he didn't predict that fast, but even if he would have had to work him and break him down and knock him out over 6-7 rounds, AJ would have been beautifully fine with that too.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But
so the fact that Tyson Fury fought him first, I feel like we all know it was a big help for AJ.
Oh, 100%. But like, another thing, bro, that I kind of want to get off my chest, bro. Like, you know, and I get it, you know, after big fights like that, you know, overreaction, you know, that's the norm in combat sports. But it's like, bro, I get it. Like, Tyson Fury's resume has been down bad over the last couple months because, you know, AJ, he annihilated Otto Wallin, you know, and that's, you know, a fight that, you know, another fight that Tyson Fury struggled with. You know, yep. he took Tyson to deep waters and that. And then obviously we saw what Ngannou did against Tyson Fury, and then AJ came in and, you know, just annihilated both of them. Fucking literally sent his ass to the shadow room.
The LG&E man flew to Saudi to cut off Ngannou's lights.
He told Francis, he was like, bro, you're gonna collect. Like, you were
I'm coming
late
to collect. You hella late. You 4 months late on payment.
That's pretty good.
Right. He flew all the way out there to cut his lights out.
You know, and I know me and you, we've been joking, you know, over the last couple weeks, but jokes aside, like, hopefully these last couple months have been a wake-up call, so to speak, for Tyson, because obviously me and you both know the shit he's been doing recently is not going to work against somebody like Alexander Usyk. And, you know, I always say method of victory is the distant cousin of triangle theory. You know, just because AJ, you know, annihilated Otto Wallin and Francis Ngannou, you know, on Twitter, you know, you got the Michael Bensons of the world, you know, asking how would a fight between Fury and AJ play out. Obviously, we need the fights to happen for us to see it, but I'm still rocking with Fury. And like I said, I feel like over the last couple months, hopefully this kind of wakes Tyson up and says, all right, I need to start taking this shit more seriously. And you can see from this past weekend in Saudi to how Tyson looked compared to how he looked when the fight was building up with Francis. He's a lot more leaner. He's in shape. Yeah, you hasn't been on social media as much compared to what he has done in the last couple months. So I feel like he's taking it a lot more seriously. And you know, I know the fight's still a whiles away, but too much. You know, it's gonna be here before we know it, and I'm still taking Fury over Usyk.
Okay, like I said, we still got time to dwell on it. You know, I'm still got to do my homework, my footage, really go back and dissect these tapes. You know, but you know, obviously we got time to go ahead and make that prediction. Even though predictions have already should have been made, we could go ahead and kind of, you know, maybe see if we saw something we didn't. I don't know. We're just gonna have to go back and check it out. But right now, the heavyweight division with that's being shaken up. But I tell you, who else kind of disappointed me too, man, I believe the skill is there, but I just don't think the will and the desire to push through to be that guy is in his fire. And that's my boy Zang, Big Bang Zang. He let Joseph Parker go in there and work him 8-9, clearly 10 rounds. And, Weili Zhang, I'm sorry, I apologize. Big Bang Zhang only scraped out with the 2 knockdowns. And it's like, we feel like he could be, with what he has, was mixing it up in there with could he fight AJ next and contend for a title? And all that got washed away when he let Joseph Parker just kind of work him the whole fight. That was another heavyweight division banger that was really good on that card. I mean,
oh yeah.
They saved the boxing, bro. They saved the boxing.
Hey, real quick, shout out to Joseph Parker. He won me a little bit of money, so shout out to him and Dustin Poirier too. We'll get to his fight later, but I mean, I don't see how between Zhang and Parker there was a 113 because, like, outside of those 2 knockdowns, I thought Parker won it pretty decisively. He didn't rock Zhang or anything like that, but I mean, he just boxed him. That's all he did. So I'm not really sure how that judge thought it was that close, but I mean, bro, Zhang, hey, he's got the power. Like you said, it's there. It's there, but...
And I think boxing skill is there too to deliver that. More so than the Deontay Wilder, who's just waiting to land that one big shot, getting his opportunity. I think Zhang is a much better boxer than, let's say, a Deontay Wilder at landing that, but the output's not there. Obviously, him being a heavyweight, it's going to be tough to have that high rate of output as, say, a Usyk would, being lighter. Tyson Fury being a little bit more, lean on his feet and likes to go that route. But the output has got to be there a little bit more if he feels like he wants to contend at that top level. I think the skill is there. I'm not so sure the stamina or the will and the desire, one of those two. If the will and the desire just ain't to push through, or his gas tank just really, really can't last him.
I mean, I could see why you would say the will and desire would be an issue, but I really think it's more cardio than anything else, because you have to think he's also 40, 41. He's in his 40s.
Yeah,
so
he's an older. A lot of the heavyweights are older, man. Joe Joyce, Zhang, Joseph Parker.
I think Parker's like 33.
Fury.
I think Parker's like 33. But I get it.
No spring chickens.
No spring chickens. But
no Jared Anderson's in the game.
But no, dude. Like, I just.
Yeah.
I don't know.
The Saudi cards are saving boxing, though.
Oh, they are
hype.
They are.
You got a new monster in the 154 division because of it. You know what I mean? Like,
bro, they putting on UFC level type cards. It may not be exactly like the UFC where you got contenders squaring off on a consistent basis, but I mean, you look at the Day of Reckoning card. Obviously, that event as a whole was fantastic.
Yeah,
and then you just look at the other recent, not just in boxing, but you look at what they did in MMA with PFL and Bellator. That was another fantastic card overall. Yeah. So they're putting on quality cards because, like, you got to think, we're used to seeing, not just in American boxing, but we've seen it, with, in the UK and shit like that. But usually when people are paying for these pay-per-views, when we pay for the pay-per-views, we're mainly paying for the main event, co-main if we're lucky, but we're mainly paying for that main event. With the Saudis, they're putting on, instead of 1 or 2 good fights like the UFC, they're putting on 4, 5, 6, 7 good quality fights
to go along. Deep, yes.
Yes, the cards are getting deep, and it's to go along with the main and co-main. So yeah, like what you said, the piggyback off what you said, the Saudis, they're saving combat sports one fight at a time.
Oh, no doubt. I mean, just to switch gears a little bit, we already got a lot coming up with the heavyweight division with Tyson Fury and Usyk. That's gonna be a big one, and that's coming very soon. So we definitely got to get ready for that. But to move on to the next biggest thing up in boxing outside of the Saudis moving forward, is the face of boxing right now. And that's my man Canelo. And he's coming back Cinco de Mayo weekend against just who we thought it would be. And somebody who myself is not as mad as the other people. Against Jaime Munguia. I'm not as mad. I mean, I gotta admit, is it my first pick? We can sit here and argue till we blue in the face. Everybody knows we want David Benavidez now. We don't need to wait. It's already been, we don't need to let it marinate anymore. It's prime. It's ripe. It's right there. But for some reason, Canelo just ain't serving it up. So the fact that it ain't happening, who's next on the list? Who do we all want to see? And we diced that up last episode before this was made official. We talked about Bud. We talked about Jamal. We talked about David Morrell. The line goes on. And then we got to Jaime Munguia. And that made the most sense to me. Cinco de Mayo weekend, undefeated Mexican fighter. It just, it makes the most sense. And to me, if we're not going to get Benavidez, to me, this is the next best option. I really do think so. Of all the ones that could be out there. And I know we talked about David Morrell. That would be skill-wise because of how highly we think of Morrell.
Well, Morrell was the question was, if I had it my way, if DB had it my way, I picked David Morrell. But obviously, like what you alluded to, David Benavidez is not it's off the board right now. I'm not going to say it's off the board completely. We might get it down the line. That's a conversation for a different day. Obviously, that's not the fight we're getting next. So then, like you said, the next logical fight that makes sense was Jaime Munguia. Yeah, and I want Canelo to go ahead and get him out the way. Like, he deserves his ass whipping. The time is overdue. Like I said, the reason why, skill-wise, best, I think David Morrell's a better fighter than Jaime Munguia. But that's the three. And if like we talked about this with the Bivol better Biev with the pecking order, like, go ahead and get Munguia out the way of the deserving fights. Get Munguia out the way. Undefeated Mexican fighter. We all been mad at Munguia for years because of his resume being weak. It's okay. It's time for him to step up. To me, this answers questions. If he goes up in there and gives Canelo trouble, hey, maybe is Canelo losing it, or is Munguia a little bit better than we thought? And if Canelo goes up in there and dusts him, then that's it. The Munguia stock is dropped. Go ahead and sell it. Move on. Like Zurdo Ramirez, his stock is dropped. It's gone. Bivol gave him that piece, and it's over with. I mean, I know he came back against was it Joe Smith? So, but yeah, I mean, his stock is still, nobody's really talking about him. Nobody is calling his name to match up against the guys that we really want to see fight. The Buds, the Canelos, all these guys, the Benavidez's, these guys, Bivols, he done got him out the way. We don't want to see him against him. So now that we done got Munguia in the mix, I'm cool with it more so than other people. Is like, again, I'm saying before I let you go, we all want the David Benavidez, and I really smell a duck. I smell a duck at the moment. But if he's going to go ahead and get Jaime Munguia out the way May 4th, Cinco de Mayo weekend, and come back with Benavidez in September, I'm cool with that. But we still got time to figure out if it's going to be David Benavidez in September, and then we be back to square one. How long do you let it marinate? I mean, bro, it's pretty much like what you said. There's no need to let it marinate.
I think it's at its prime right now. That would have been Cinco de Mayo weekend for me.
Bro, I mean, it's time to pull that bitch off out of the oven. I mean, that's it. You ain't got to let it marinate. It's done. It's cooked. Like, this is the perfect time to fight David Benavidez. I mean, look, I've been saying on Twitter, not since the fight came out, but like really for the last couple weeks, because, I mean, let's be real, we all knew this was coming. The big issue was it going to be on DAZN? Was it going to be on PBC Prime? And then come to find out, both apps are going to be showcasing the fight. So we've been knowing that it's going to be Jaime Munguia as far as who's Canelo's going to fight. My thing is, and like what I showed you earlier, if Canelo wants to fight the Jaime Munguias of the world, and he wants to collect a cool 35, 40, $50 million bag. I'm cool. I respect the hustle. Canelo Alvarez, he's got nothing more else to achieve. He's have multiple world titles. He's undisputed. He has the best resume among all active boxers. He's a bona fide future Hall of Famer. Okay, he's earned the right to pick and choose who he wants to fight. I'm cool with that. My only issue is I don't want, when Canelo does these post-fight interviews, press conferences, whatever, and he's always talking about, I'm fighting the best in the world. No, you're not. What you're doing is pulling your dick out, pissing on the fans, and telling us it's raining. That's what he's doing.
I don't know about that, man. I mean,
he is. But he is though. Like Triple G, I love Triple G. I love Triple G, bro.
This fight is more significant than that, man. It really is. He's not, bro, this is not Edgar Berlanga. I mean, if this was Edgar Berlanga, I'd be.
That was one of the bro. If it wasn't Jaime Munguia, Edgar Berlanga was one of the other choices.
But he went Jaime Munguia. To me that shouldn't even have been an option. I get it, but I'm just saying he went Munguia. So I'm bro. I don't know. Like I said,
Canelo hasn't had.
We wanted Munguia to fight Boo Boo back at 160. We wanted him to fight Triple G. Like, it's these fights he's moving up. He got dehydrated. He's passing out at 160. We know he needs to move up to 168. We still nitpicked who he's fighting. So I get it. Triangle theory don't work. He fights John Ryder, gets him out, blah, blah, blah. It's time for Canelo or something for Munguia, and we want it and we got it. I'm like, I guess, I don't know. It's people are so mad that it's not Benavidez that I really feel like people are not appreciating that it's at least Jaime Munguia, who, because like you said, David Morrell, but David Morrell, less than 10 fights. People want to argue that. I mean, he's on a fast track. He's the Lomas of 168, I guess, was already winning titles at second and third fights. So yeah, I mean, you could go that route, but aside from that, to me, no Jamal, no Bud, there's nobody else. It was Munguia, and he picked him, but yet it's so mad it's not Benavidez that we're not appreciating that it's at least Jaime Munguia, because he could have been fucking Edgar Berlanga or Jamal Charles.
Bro, that's my thing though. I mean, like, Canelo hasn't had a quality win, like a good quality win, since he beat Caleb Plant to become undisputed. Like, I love Triple G, and if you go back, as a kid say, gotta keep that same energy. Bro, we were wrong about Triple G. We thought he would be a better fight along with that DAZN deal where he got Triple G and Bivol instead of Benavidez and Jamal Charlo at that time with that PBC deal. We thought Triple G would be a better fight, but he wasn't. Like, that was his retirement fight. That he was there to collect that check and then just go off into retirement. That's all it was. John Ryder, bro. John Ryder is a journeyman. I don't even think he was that good of a journeyman. Not saying he was a complete scrub, but it's like he wasn't one of the upper echelons at 168 pounds.
No.
So it's like, so you got Triple G going into retirement. You got John Ryder.
Though. That was a mandatory. So they slid that mandatory in there just to keep people happy.
And then, I won't lie, I've said it before on past episodes. I did have high hopes for Jamel Charlo, but like what we both talked about on past episodes, he went in there, he didn't do shit.
He was just a punch. He went in there and did the Triple G thing.
That's it. That's all it was. I'm gonna get this Canelo payday, and that's it.
Right.
But like, it's not so much that I'm mad he's not fighting David Benavidez. Yes, I prefer to see him fight David Benavidez. But it's like, bro, okay, do you think Jaime Munguia is one of the best in the world?
I mean,
is it yes or no? Do you think he's one of the best in the world?
It's a hard question to answer, but I mean, no,
because he's not. My thing is, if like I said, if Canelo wants to fight guys like that, like the Jaime Munguias of the world, and get a nice bag out of it, cool, I respect it. But like when you got Canelo and his annoying ass fan base talking about how he's, still fighting the best in the world. No, he's not. He's not.
But in this weird instance, we just have a guy who just almost in himself refuses to fight the best in the world, even though he's steadily chugging along at a journeyman pace. Like Jaime, that's exactly what Jaime Munguia is.
I agree. That's exactly what Canelo's doing, which is what you alluded to earlier about you talking about how you smell a duck.
You got to get him out the way. We know Jaime Munguia, for lack of better terms, has been called a duck plenty of times because of just what I said, who he avoided off the 160 days and then even early in moving up to 168. But when a Canelo paycheck comes along, you got to take that. And then at the same time, to me, that's why I guess I'm cool with it, so to speak. I'm anxious for it. I'm ready to see it because I'm ready to answer the Jaime Munguia question. Undefeated Mexican fighter. You say you're ready for smoke and it's all their fault every time, never yours. Well, now you got the big dog. Either bring it or that's it. Your stock is over. And then it is what it is for Canelo. You can get mad at him because he picked somebody, or Canelo just had to be careful because now he put himself in a lose-lose situation. Because if he loses to Munguia, oh my God, and if he beats him, he should have beat him. So is Munguia in your take or analysis of it? Is Munguia playing with house money?
Yeah, he is. I don't disagree with you on that. He is playing with house money. Because, nobody's really expecting him to beat Canelo. This is supposed to be another quote-unquote cherry pick for Canelo. So, yeah, he is playing with house money. He's got nothing to lose. He goes in there, he loses. Well, he's just another, Mexican fighter with a padded record who just got an ass kicked like Zerto. He's practically Zerto 2.0. But if he goes in there and he beats Canelo, hey, you just beat Canelo Alvarez. So yeah, yes, Jaime Munguia is playing with house money.
Okay. Yeah, I'm anxious to see it Cinco de Mayo weekend. And correct me if I'm wrong, Fury Usyk is May 18th. So we right around the corner. We 2 months away, so it's heating up. So before we get on to the MMA, the last two hypotheticals for the boxing really quickly, I just want to, we going to make this short, but I want to know what fight, one of them's official, one's not, but I'm hearing it's going to be made official. What fight you trying to see first? Jake Paul and Mike Tyson or Bud versus Chris Eubank?
Bud versus Eubank?
I guess the only reason is because it's a real boxing match. That's the only reason. You got Jake Paul and Mike Tyson, 57 years old versus Jake Paul, the YouTuber, and then all of a sudden you got Bud supposedly about to fight Chris Eubank, a fight nobody asked for. So, like I said, we're gonna keep it short. Now I'll let you go quickly. It's a fight nobody asked for. But you know what I mean? With the Munguia thing, undefeated, I could keep going on while I think Munguia at least deserves that fight. Get him out the way. Chris Eubank, bro, this not it. This not it. But, I know I guess it's a money fight. UK's going to put us. That's not the fight. That don't answer no questions for me. Back to what I said. I like fights that answer questions on one side or the other. I can't wait for Tank and Frank Martin. To me, that answers questions on one side or the other. In this case, this fight answers neither fight. Jake Paul, Mike Tyson, or motherfucking Bud Chris Eubank. Neither fight answers a question for either side. And neither fight I want to see.
No, neither fight is what I want to see either. However, and again, this is just from my point of view. No, Bud and Eubank Jr. is not what I want to see either, obviously. But Bud fighting at 160 pounds, that could be a telltale sign of him trying to get acclimated to possibly fight Canelo later on down the road. Again, I don't know. Like we just doing hypotheticals at this point.
Also, so he's gonna duck Benavidez again and fight Bud in September, huh?
Hey, that's more realistic than that's a realistic possibility. I'm not saying that Jake Paul and Mike Tyson isn't, because obviously that shit's about to go down. But
Shout
it's
out
like
to Netflix.
But it's like Jake Paul, and again, we've talked about this early on in his boxing career. You know, obviously the biggest thing for Jake Paul still is, when's he gonna fight a quote unquote actual boxer? And you've alluded to this many times. Like, what is an actual boxer? And we talked about it. Like, you could argue that Jake Paul's resume is just as good, or if not a little bit better, than Tommy Fury. Because what?
No doubt.
Because the best win that Tommy Fury has is Jake Paul.
Right.
and Tommy Fury is a quote unquote an actual boxer. Now, granted, I get it. He's not. He only gets that label because he's the brother of Tyson Fury, and you know, Tommy Fury, he kind of does his own little personality TV shows in the UK, whatever. So even then, he's not a quote unquote actual boxer per se, but compared to Jake Paul, he is. But it's like Jake Paul, he was kind of taking the right steps in the right direction with his last two fights. Granted, again, it's nobody big, nobody really asked for Jake Paul versus Andre August, or you know, the last guy he fought. But again, they're more of an actual boxer compared to Nate Diaz, compared to Tyron Woodley, compared to Nate Robinson.
And now he's dealing with somebody. Now he's dealing with somebody who is a true master of the craft.
Bro, but he's 60 though. He's 60.
I get it.
He's going
57 or whatever the case may be. 57, 58.
Jake Paul took 1 or 2 steps in the right direction, and he just took about 50 fucking steps backwards fighting Mike Tyson.
But again, I mean, put it on a level of perspective. Like 57, you've seen a couple videos where he's at, okay? Take it for whatever the fuck it is, bro. But 57-year-old Mike Tyson right now, the way it is, or Nate Robinson? 57-year-old Mike Tyson right now, or Tyron Woodley? 57-year-old Mike Tyson, like the guy he just fought last time, the guy, you know, the white dude that he just knocked out in the first round. Or what about Rahman's son? He didn't fight him. He fought was it him? I forgot who it was. Like, his resume's passing by because it's so weak. But that's my point. Guys who, like, you know, I don't know. He ain't got Anderson Silva. Never really boxed good combat sports, but he was 50. So, I mean, again, in a fucking shitty ass resume that he has, is this his toughest test?
Probably.
You know what I mean? It's not saying much. It's really not saying much. But still, again, like I said, a guy who is a master of the craft, Mike Tyson, you just don't know if the stamina is going to be there, the chin's going to hold up. There's a lot of variables. But somebody who might be going there to try to take his head. Have you heard anything on whether or not it's an exhibition or a sanctioned fight? Is it going to count as a record? Like, if Mike Tyson wins or loses, is that going on his record? I obviously know they're not going to go any further with it, but still, Bob, I don't know, bro. It's
well, that's the thing. Like, he's asking, like, he says he wants to go towards a world title. If this is an expedition fight, like, that's not gonna. I don't know, bro. I don't know what Jake Paul is trying to.
I know what he's trying to do. He's trying to sell tickets and rack up that cash.
Besides that,
that's the
only thing he's doing is just bringing eyeballs to the sport. That's the only thing he's really doing well. Believe it or not, Jake Paul is one of the better pay-per-view draws in the sport of boxing. I know that sounds, but you take it for what it is.
Yep.
But as far as from a boxing sense, like, I don't know what he's trying to do.
Man.
I don't.
He's just trying to make that bread. That's all he's trying to do. You know who he's really trying to be? He's really trying to beat Dana White because Dana White putting on these shows, boy. UFC 299 was banging. I mean, look, you might have could have threw on one more bigger name, bigger fight, and that might have been one of the, because like we're talking about, was that not the biggest gate of all time without Conor McGregor?
According to Dana White,
according to Dana White,
UFC 299 was the fourth highest grossing event, and the other three feature Conor McGregor. So it's the highest grossing event that didn't involve or didn't headline Conor McGregor. So with that being said, that shows how the card was already, and it delivered, because UFC 299 was definitely one of the better cards that we've seen in a while. I mean, you know, the UFC delivers. They do. We talk about it all the time. Dana White delivers for the fans. We could argue how much he's paying these guys. Francis made a smooth $20 million fighting AJ after people talking about a $600,000 to fight in UFC. But hey, UFC has been putting on hella good shows, fights we want to see, pay-per-view after pay-per-view. And last night was no exception. The Sugar Show came and delivered over Chito Vera, beat the brakes off of him. Masterclass performance. Because I don't have any issue at all with O'Malley going around talking about how he's unbeaten, undefeated. Because, I mean, if you go, look, shit, huh? Look, if you go back to the first fight, bro, I mean, he was basically doing the same thing before that nerve in his leg gave out. I mean, you don't want to cry excuses, but I mean, come on, bro. That's what it was. You know, once that nerve once that his leg went out,
yep.
Chito, he took it, and credit to Chito. He did what he was supposed to do. Took advantage of it. Was able to beat Sean, knocked him out. Props to him. But as we saw from last night, cause I mean, like, come on, bro.
I mean, the Sugar Show just went up in there and pieced him up for 5 full rounds for real. And and honestly, there was only one round 4, that you could even remotely think about giving to Chito. But all props to him. He stood up in there. He ate shot after shot. And just when you actually think that the Sugar Show was about to walk him down and finish him off, Chito was still right there conscious. Boy, that knee that he ate, ooh, man, when you hear that in real time, that shit sound like Joe and them was talking about, it sound like a bat hit a wall or something. I don't know. Man, for him to survive that and still be kind of up and give O'Malley a really great fight like that, was in it the whole time, was landing his, you looking at the stats. I mean, you got O'Malley over here landing 25 significant strikes around, while Chito's still landing 11, 12. One round landed 18, 19. So with all that added into the pot, O'Malley's taking some hits too. That's why he's making it a good fight. But just based off of what Chito was throwing at him and how the Sugar Show was responding, I got to give him an A+ on that performance from opening bell to closing bell. Got to give him an A+ on that one.
Absolutely.
Definitely bounce back.
Absolutely, brother. Absolutely. That's his best performance to date. I don't think anybody's going to question that. But, it's just, like I said, because I ain't got no issue with the Sugar Show going around talking about how he's undefeated, bro. Like, I know on paper he's got that L, but hey, he got his lick back. And he's that dude at 135 until Merab comes along.
Oh, really?
Yes, really, cuz.
How much longer is that?
That's going to be the next fight, cuz. Like, the Sugar Show is going to be coming to an end, cuz. I do. Yeah, I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying it while it lasts, bro. Like, I really do think Merab is...
It's finna end all that.
O'Malley don't want that, bro. He don't. I don't think he does. I mean, that pressure that Merab gives off and his cardio, bro, was just on another level. It's gonna be
Okay.
tough. It's gonna be tough.
Like I said, enjoy the Sugar Show ride while it's here, because my man DB's predicting that it's all gonna come to an end next fight or fight after next, at least. I can only assume, so that'll definitely be coming up. Other good fights that was on the card was that co-main, my man Dustin Poirier delivering. You say he put a little cash in your pocket.
Oh yeah, he put a little bit of cash in my pocket, bro.
I mean that's why he's my man Donald Trump's favorite fighter. I mean, he delivers the goods. My man Poirier, he's an exciting fighter to watch. He goes up in there, he's gritty. He's laughing. Somebody say he got that dog in him. Like he for real does.
He does, bro. And he understands, bro. Like to keep your spot, you either lose it or defend it, bro. And that's what he did. He's still, granted the fight before this, I know he got sparked by Justin Gaethje, but I mean, bro, Poirier, he's still fighting killers, and cuz got another spectacular knockout in.
Yeah, very spectacular. I mean, that crushing right hand.
Although, cuz like, bro, I hated how he kept going for the guillotine. I'm like, bro, that was kind of funny, because I was watching it too. I had some company over, and I'm watching it, and like the way he was piecing him up, I'm sitting there thinking to myself, like, I even said it aloud. I'm like, why don't he just like keep piecing him up until he gets the opportunity to kind of finish him? Like he's landing great shots, and it's clear he's getting wobbled. But he kept going for that guillotine, like you said, and he hit him 1 or 2 times, and I was like, watch, he's gonna go for sure enough, he's gonna go for the guillotine one more time, and he tried it the last time, and that's when he stood up and caught him and finished him. I'm like, about damn time. Like, he was doing it the whole round. He was doing it pretty much the whole fight, and shout out Dustin Poirier for coming with the game plan, even though he definitely was trying to get that guillotine. That was funny. That performance, bro, I mean, it got a nice response out of Islam, and Islam's manager, he pushing Poirier for the next shot at the title. So who knows? We might see the Diamond back in a title fight his next time out.
Oh yeah. And lastly on that 299 card, I'm a fan of MVP, bro. I'm a fan.
I'm a fan too.
Yeah, I mean, who did he fight? I did like
Kevin Holland.
I did like me some Kevin Holland, but I tell you what, MVP won me over. Style, flamboyance, execution. I really think he got a fan. I fucks with MVP. Venom Page is legit.
Hey,
I think he belong. He put him in the top 10 rankings. Put him in that top 10.
Michael Venom Page versus Ian Machado Gary next. You want that fight?
You trying to set that up? Oh yeah. Sign me up for that one.
Cause I think that's another fight that's tailor made for MVP. I do want to see a little bit more out of him before I think he's a serious threat. Not to say he's not, but I still want to see how he does against more well-rounded fighters, and obviously that's going to come with the more time, more performances he puts out, like he did against Kevin Holland. But yes, MVP, he got a new fan in me as well. Okay.
Well, that 299 was definitely fun, but we supposed to be, as fun as that was, we gonna see. Get a little quick prediction in right here. That was the most successful gate without a Conor McGregor. UFC 300 was supposed to be one of those extravaganzas, which it's about to be. Don't get me wrong. This card I'm about to mention is deep. But you think the gate's going to be bigger than the Sugar Shows just was? You think 300 is going to bring that in with this card? With Pereira on the card?
Only time will tell.
Justin Gaethje on the card, Max Holloway, that Oliveira.
Because here's the thing.
Aljamain Sterling, Bo Nickel on the card. Figgy.
It's deep.
Holly Holm.
It's deep, bro. It's
Bobby
deep.
Green,
it is.
He fights on any card.
But look, here's my thing real quick.
It's entertaining fight after entertaining fight.
So, one of the rhetorics or rebuttals that people like to use, because a lot of people don't think it's just because of Sean O'Malley. And it's not all because of Sean O'Malley as to why the gate is the 4th largest in the promotion's history, but it's like,
and it was Miami too.
But it's Vegas. Like, if as stacked as 300 is, if it's not producing at the same or more as UFC 299, then I think that's where we kind of got to give O'Malley some credit for being able to kind of go that extra mile a little bit, if that makes sense.
Well, here's where I'm looking at it. It made the gate before the card started. So you didn't know what it was going to deliver. You just had hopes, and it actually delivered. 299. We didn't mention Curtis Blades. I know he hurt your feelings there really quickly. And I mean, it was just a great card. The prelims were great all the way through. It delivered. I believe it was worthy of being considered the 4th best gate of all time. So here's, I guess, what I think can help 300 is you got the 4th best gate. It delivered. It belonged. Now 300's supposed to be, look at this card, bro. Look at this card. This card's way better on paper than 299. Now, will it deliver? Yes. Now, will it deliver? We got to wait and find out. But I see no reason why 300's gate can't be somewhere in that realm because of the success that 299 just had and delivered. 299 didn't throw in a clunker. If it throws in a clunker, then you can see what I mean why being 300 being on the heels, it doesn't matter what the paper says, it might not deliver. But since 299 delivered, I believe 300 is going to ride that wave, and I think 300 is really going to deliver and could arguably match that gate, because that card is, man, that card's crazy.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
It doesn't have the main money man. It's missing McGregor or John Jones. But if you can't have them two, again, we tried to play matchmaker before. It's tougher than you think. Dana's brought that up. Whole bunch of fans theoretically talking about, oh, you need to make these fights. Why can't you make? It's harder to make a card than you think, dealing with all the variables in the sport, injuries and all that stuff.
I mean, you only have so much talent. You only have so much talent
and time. Yeah, it's only so many resources, but you make the most of what you got on your promotion. And I believe he does that better than anybody else at the moment. With that, because he has all the best under his umbrella. So that makes it easier too, but he delivers what we want. And 300, I think 300 is about to be an absolute extravaganza. Big time.
Oh, it's about to be big.
I mean,
it's going to be big, cuz it's
that
definitely going to be big.
Open Dana White's eyes, no doubt. I know he already, works out there in Dubai and Saudi Arabia and all that. I know he does that. But he's like, damn, they doing it like, I mean, shit, I got to deliver on 300.
Gotta wait and see, cuz.
Yep. So, I mean, it's been a big weekend. We got a lot coming forward. We got the Haney-Garcia fight. Canelo's coming up in May. Fury, Usyk. I mean, there's just a lot going on. So, I mean, as always, I've been your boy AG, kicking it with my man DB. And we gonna be out. Peace.
Peace.